Yeah, it's a great country. This country is just a great country for senators and TDs and everything. Oh, they get everything. It's a great country. People have lost their businesses. People have lost their jobs. But apparently, this money's still for the TDs and senators. And at that, 240,000 for expenses in Shannon for April and May, to April to May. Expenses, it was 240,000 for 2 months when they wouldn't even fucking in the place. They never done shit all. They done fuck all. Like, let's be honest, they done fuck all the shit, the people in the Shannon. They're still collecting their wages. They didn't have to go on the COVID wage. Don't worry about that. They probably got an extra Bob. But yeah, 6,000 for the majority of senators in Cavan. Which is no surprise. I'm not surprised. I was thinking it could be a bit more, but I say it was a bit more. I say they got an envelope with about 10,000, 4,000, 15,000, something like that, maybe more. No, in this country, because this country's just a fucking shit show. Let's just be honest. For senators, like, honest, they're living the life of Wileys here. So yeah, Fianna Fáil's Robert Gallagher received 6,232. I don't know what he claimed for. I don't know what he... I might as well say straight. I don't know where you at. Why is this an expenses? This is not even his wage. This is for expenses. God knows what he spent 6,000 on. God knows. Joe Wiley received 6,000, and so over 6,000 over 2 months. You're asking yourself, where did they spend the money? Like, they were in lockdown, they probably went off the Bahamas, wouldn't you know it? And it goes on, like, the amount of money. And, then they're giving out that they have no money in the country. They're giving out, like, the government are giving out whinging and quipping and crying, saying, oh, we have to cut back and this, that and the other. But apparently it's still money for this, and this business is closed and they can't keep them alive, they can't keep them going, and they can keep the senators paid. It's a great country. We live in just a great country. I can't tell you how much of a great country we live in to have such great senators and great TDs who care about the people of Ireland. And that's only joking because they couldn't give a shite as long as they got their paycheck at the end of the week. Like, this is 6,000 expenses. Imagine that. Imagine that. Imagine that. This is not even their wage. I think it's 70. It could be. I don't know how much it is for a senator. And the Shannon, sorry, not Senator, Shannon. Don't know how much it is a year, how much it is a month, but it's a fair bit for an only wage. It's a fair bit. If you want the COVID scheme, or if you want the DOE, or if you're on job seekers allowance, it's only $350. Maybe a bit more in some other cases. But yeah, $350. How can you survive on that $350? And these people are getting back in 6,000 for fucking 1 month. For nearly 2 months. Like, Joe Wiley here got for 2 months he got 6,000, over 6,000 years. You wouldn't even, half the people in this country work day in and day out, and they get the minimum wage. And he sits up in Shandale every 5 seconds and doesn't say anything. And that's as simple as that. And again, shame on them. Just shame on them, because the God Almighty, it was all right when the country was full of money. They could claim for everything because there was a lot of money in the country. But now it's a very serious, different situation because there's businesses closing. There's businesses in Cavan closing because they can't afford to open. They have to pay insurance. They still have to pay insurance even though they're closed. And I'm talking about pubs too. There's some other businesses closed because they can't get back on their feet. So yeah. Because they had to pay for masks, they had to pay for new things for the shop and everything like that, and they couldn't afford it. And the money they were getting from the state was fuck all, let's be honest. And the money that might have done a bit of good. Like this 240,000 for 48 senators, that would have done a good lot of shops, let me just say straight. It's this, like, honest to God, we read a bit more, I will leave a link in the description, but my fuck. You have to get used to it because next month will be about 16 or 17,000 we given. It's probably more. Don't worry about that. They're getting more than they say. Envelopes. Michael Carrigley, Fida Gay got 6,000 too. Like, all of them got 6,000. Yeah, a lot of them got 6,000. Still, it's a joke. Just a joke. It's just a joke, and none of the media, the OTE or anything like that, will cover it. Great country. The media will cover it. Only for this Northern Sound talking about my local radio stations. Like, you can see the comments. There's comments here underneath the post. The people of the country have been whiffed off by the bloody politicians who we voted for. These politicians. Why? Because they vote it. Don't you? I don't think disgraceful. Everybody's nobody's saying fair play. They deserve it. There's one person here said I want a pub. I've been closed for the last 6 months. Find how to make ends meet, and these people are getting money. But it's going up every once in a while. Like, that's basically what I was saying. And that sums it up. This person's struggling. And the state's giving the senators and TDs that already get a big sum. They already get enough money. They don't need any more. Like, this is just a shower of hooers, and there's a shower of hooers in Shannon Aaron, and they need to be just kicked out. And simple as we need to just get rid of the Shannon. Just, God forbid, read the doll. Like, my God, I don't even want to take expenses for TDs because we're buying computers and buying shit and buying that and the other fuck. Like, sorry, I'm just fucking. You get pissed. You honestly just get pissed at wasting money and wasting the taxpayer. And people working hard to get their businesses back up and going. And they give these fucks. Let's just run it straight. They give these fucks this amount of money. Like, that's it's incomprehensible. Like, there's businesses in Cavan that haven't even made the money back yet. There's some businesses have. But the vast majority of businesses are still struggling. To get a grip on their business and get everything back to normal. There's just no fucking arguing with them because they're just gonna do everything. Like a fucking, where was the priorities? Like, honest to God, the more way they were giving the TDs and senators money and everybody else. Next thing they'll be saying Michael Higgins is getting a €60,000 increase. Oh, 60 million, sorry. If they got away with it, they probably would. You just have to like this. You think you're in a dream or something because how can anybody just sit there and say because there's people in the media, it's journalists you see on Twitter, and they're like, fair play, Shannon Dowan, you deserve it. You do fuck all, but you deserve it. And these are the media. This is the media in Ireland. They're just like, yeah, they deserve it. They deserve it. No pushback or anything like that. Just no, there's nothing at all. They're just like, you deserve it. Keep it. We're not going to even report on it. The more you know. But anyway, that's enough of that.